Thanks for joining us today. I'm standing next to Lillis Taylor, and she is Trey Taylor's daughter. Can you tell? And of course, Trey Taylor, the prominent artist here in the Selma area. And Lillis is here with a very special display, and I'm going to let her explain it. But if you see behind us these beautiful quilts, that's what it's all about. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah,
I appreciate you letting me know you're going to be here. This is so cool.
Yeah. So the March Quilts is a nonprofit. We are located in Birmingham.
Right.
But we started as a program of Bibb and Tucker's Sew-Off in Birmingham. The year that the Sew-Off incorporated, we brought a quilting project into the community to let them know we were there.
Right.
And the March Quilts started as a celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Selma to Montgomery marches.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we brought sewing sessions to Selma and Montgomery, and then had a lot of sessions in Birmingham. And we collected 461 blocks, and those turned into 3 community quilts. And so now we're so excited to be bringing them back to Selma. But the project was so successful that we continued it. So the second year we shed light on gender pay equity. And we have 9 themes. So for the past 10 years, we've worked on 9 themes. We have 16 quilts in the collection.
Wow.
They are all here at the Harmony Club for the next 2 weeks. And the March Quilts is now its own nonprofit.
And you brought them down as part of the celebration of the 60th this year.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The 60th
Our 10th anniversary and then the 60th anniversary of the marches. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of these quilts. You've got quite a few of them that you said were actually specifically for community. And what are the different ones? What are their purposes?
Some of the other themes?
Yeah. Some of the themes.
Yeah. So,
can you tell I don't know a whole lot about quilts and quilting?
Well, oh, hello, dog.
Hello, little pup. That was cute.
That was cute. So these are not traditional quilts. That we kind of consider them to be art quilts.
Okay.
So we let anyone participate, whether they were novices, had never picked up a needle before. I think we've had a 2-year-old work on a quilt block, and then I know we had someone in their 90s participate. So anyone who shows up to a sewing session, we will work with them to make sure that the idea that they have can be translated into fabric.
And where all do you go to do this? I mean, you're in Selma right now, but...
So that's a great question, because the project mostly stayed around Jefferson County and Birmingham. We did the first year, we brought sewing sessions to Selma and Montgomery.
Right.
But we're we're now a new nonprofit, and we're going to finish the quilt making portion so that our collection is finalized. And then our current mission is to enhance the intersection of advocacy and art through display and education, display of the quilts and education and workshops. And we want to take that all over the country.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So in order for this quilt collection to symbolically represent Alabama, we are going to try to do workshops in all 67 counties.
Oh, wow. All 67 counties.
Yeah. So
when will you start that?
I've got Butler.
Oh, you already got them lined up?
Yes, we've started lining them up thanks to grants from the Alabama State Council on the Arts,
right?
The Daniel Foundation, and Community Foundation in Birmingham. We're starting to set those workshops up.
And you say you got Butler.
So we've worked in Butler County, and we really will go to all 67 counties. Yeah.
Well, now that's different from what you're doing here, though, correct?
Yeah,
because you don't have all the workshops.
So the March Quilts will become exhibition of these quilts, and we will work with partners who want us to kind of highlight various themes.
Yeah.
So going back to your question about themes, we have environmental justice quilts. We have 2 quilts on environmental justice. I mentioned gender pay equity.
Right.
Year 3, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Loving versus Virginia Supreme Court ruling, which knocked down the ban on interracial marriage. And that really set the tone for being able to celebrate and support same-sex marriage. We have a Generations of Queer Love quilt. Basically, anything you can think about of humanity needing to be lifted up and supported, human rights, civil rights, we've kind of tackled it with the March Quilts.
That is really fantastic. Yeah. So you've got Butler County already done, or
yes? So
okay,
Butler
it's already
County
done.
is in the books.
Do you have any other ones yet?
So we've got Lowndes County coming up in
right next
April.
door.
Okay, coming up in April. We're working with A Free We Can Do This and By the Humanity.
I love A Free
By the River Center for Humanity.
Yes,
so
awesome place.
We'll be also partnering with her. That will represent Dallas County.
Great. Couldn't think of a better place either.
And I have to say, as we start to do these workshops and people get to know what the project is, I have a feeling we'll be getting more invitations from
I'm sure,
different counties. So
yeah. And do you have a way that people could contact you to find out more?
Yes, we have a website.
Okay.
It is themarchquilts.org.
The March Quilts.
One word.
One quick question before: is it March because of the month or March because of the marches?
That's a great question. So because our first year celebrated the March.
Across the bridge.
The marches, the 3 marches.
Yeah.
And the marches took place in March. We just decided to call the project the March Quilts. So it is a double.
Fantastic.
It's a double entendre.
That's awesome. I love it. So anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the website, but it just hit me that we didn't know that.
TheMarchQuilts.org. Yes.
TheMarchQuilts.org.
And we do have an Instagram account and a Facebook, so you can find us on social media too.
Oh, good. Well, I'm going to put all those down here on the bottom of the screen. You know how everybody points like this when they're really have no idea. Right down here somewhere.
Or they're there.
Right. Yeah. And so how long are you going to be here in Selma?
So the quilts will be on display a week from yesterday. So March 8th is a Saturday. And then the following Saturday, March 15th.
Great. Yeah. And that's at the Harmony Club down here on Water Avenue.
Harmony Club.
Love this place.
Yes. It is a wonderful gallery for 16 quilts.
It's a wonderful gallery for the 16 quilts and for a lot of other stuff too. So I'm hoping to see you down here with more quilts and more. Is this the only kind of artwork you do?
No.
Let's talk a little bit about Lillis.
That's a whole other story. So you mentioned my dad.
Yeah.
We love to joke who was the artist first.
Oh, really?
In this family. Because I was always supported in my art journey, and by both parents. And so, of course, he has had a very successful career as an artist, outsider artist. And 15 years ago, I moved back to Birmingham. And he said, "Okay, you have a master's degree in China studies. What are you going to do with that?" Which I do. And I said, being a dad, I can see where it's like, You know, basket weaving might even have been better, but what? That would have been more relevant to what I do now.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Hey, mine's in broadcasting, so it's not much better.
Look what we're doing.
Yeah,
I love it. No, I mean, there's a whole story behind. I mean, I wanted to study design. I did.
Oh, wow, cool.
I worked in the book and toy industry.
Really?
But everything was manufactured in China.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And we started having complications with our various complications with our products. So basically, I decided I wanted to go do U.S.-China labor relations, which was a detour that I quickly, after I got my degree, I lived in China for a year. I came home. He's like, "Okay, so now what are you doing?" And I was like, "I want to take your imagery and make clothes and home goods and textiles with it." But as I started that path, I started meeting women in Birmingham who wanted to sew and wanted to create community
Right.
around sewing. And so my life kind of split, and I was working on the project with my dad, which is my personal work, and then also the community work of Bib and Tucker Sew Op, which then became the March Quilts.
Wow.
And now we are still trying to negotiate this whole partnership in terms of manufacturing and everything. But really, I just love putting needle and thread to fabric.
That's awesome.
It's my jam. I
That is
love
cool.
doing it. And I can tell you that passion was ignited from a trip to Gee's Bend. So I was not a
That is fantastic.
I was
That
not
is
a
a
sewer.
great thing to know in
Yeah.
this area.
Yeah. No, it
So
was,
these
yeah,
indirectly came out of your experience in
absolutely.
Gee's Bend.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Marianne Petway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've actually interviewed her on the Black Belt News Network. So, yeah, Cindy did the interview. That's awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Great. Was there anything you want to add to what we got going on here?
I really hope we will have the doors open at the Harmony Club on the 8th and again on the 15th. And I just hope folks will come in and take a look at these quilts and tell me anything. We have a couple of interactive things we can do with folks when they come in. They won't be sewing that day.
Yeah, but
you asked, like, is there a workshop or anything?
Right.
We won't be sewing that day, but we have some cool interactive stuff for kids, for adults. So I just hope people will come down. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for what you're doing and spending time with us. It is absolutely a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
And because I love your dad, he is so awesome, and I love his work. And I can see, obviously, I see the resemblance there, but I can see the quality of the artwork here too. So I'm really impressed.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to come to the Harmony Club on the March 6th and March 8th.
March 8th and March 15th.
March 8th and March 15th. I knew I'd get that wrong. And enjoy these beautiful quilts, and we'll see you at the Bridge Crossing Jubilee.